All right, we are recording. What's up, everybody? My name's LILWOOLEY618. This is AJ, aka Dr. Phil314. He's not a doctor in real life. He just plays one on the internet.
More of a gaming doctor.
You're not even
just
that.
Say that.
You're not even that.
Yeah. I can address problems really well. I just can't actually do the. I'm a general practitioner of gaming. I don't excel at any of them. If my Call of Duty kill death ratio back then, whenever I had crappy everything, was to is of any evidence anyway. But
you can't see this right now, but I'm shaking my head. Go.
Yeah, 0.3 something is nothing to be proud of.
Yeah.
I think it was like 0.39. Now, I have had friends that have had way worse. I think one of them had like a 0.2 or something. Like, it was awful.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. I forgot to turn on the second light on here.
Nice.
But anyway, welcome to Tusk Talk, everybody. As I go around and turn on the second light, and AJ, I cannot hear you, so if you're talking to me, that is not going to help whatsoever. And it would not be a show without me doing at least one screw up, so thank Jesus that, because I looked on my screen, I was like, I'm a little bit darker than normal, and now I can hear you.
Yeah, well, nice. Way to cover time there, and fill in the gap there, because I was going to talk about everything that's been kind of rushed because job interviews and
I had a job interview in St. Louis, which was almost a 3-hour drive for me. So,
I can only imagine. That's probably disgusting.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad actually. I mean, whenever it's like 95% interstate, it's like, eh.
Well. Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, so, yep. Welcome to Tusk Talk, guys. We do not have that many topics, just not a whole lot of news.
Well, we do have plenty of news. It's just in a few topics.
Yeah, very few topics. Obviously, we're going to talk about the inauguration that happened today, or the day of this recording, yesterday for all you guys watching, if you watched as soon as the video goes live. And we're going to talk about all the reactions to it, the protests, the just everything. We're also going to talk about how a few days ago a fake protest website was kind of shut down during the live broadcasts on Fox News. And it's pretty much been skeptical by everybody except by Breitbart, which that's not shocking. Even as a conservative, I could say that.
Yeah.
Also, for those of you who care, we got an update on the whole KOSDFF and the TKG Fieldhouse situation. That's going to be heavily on me, because I'm the one that follows him. And then we have a what the fuck story, and I need to open that back up for me because I totally forgot what that one was.
That one.
The mom who saved her family by
giving an intruder a blowjob.
Yeah. Just FYI, as you can probably tell, not safe for work.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, heck, this whole podcast is not safe for work with the language.
Fuck!
Yep, exactly.
There you go. Not safe for work.
Yep, there you go. And I also don't know the validity of the story either, so unless you've done extensive research, AJ, which I haven't.
It doesn't seem like it's valid, but it's fun to say anyway, although I have confirmation from somebody that lives in the South that it does sound like something Texas would do.
Well,
so
here's the thing. That sounds like it should be a Florida Man article. I'm just saying.
You think, or Florida Woman or something like that. That would be something like that.
Yeah.
So
I only say Florida Man because that's the name of the subreddit.
Yeah.
But we have those. We have a few topics to talk about, and that whole the whole story of the blowjob is our what the fuck segment of the week. But
and we'll try to get one every week because Wooly tends to find the weirdest shit on the planet.
Hey, when you follow some of the Twitters I follow, you find some weird ass fucking shit.
Yeah, the one that you linked to me and you'll show. That's pretty weird.
But guys, real quick before we actually do get into all those topics, though, I do want to point out that I am a member of Rize Up Gaming, and we are doing a charity marathon this weekend. It's been going on for the past few days, and it's charity marathon to help support Seattle Children's Hospital. We have currently, as of this recording, raised $3,610. At least that's what's in the GoFundMe. I highly recommend you guys go to twitch.tv/Rize Up Gaming after the podcast. Watch some entertaining streamers and donate money to make them do some dumb stuff. So, highly recommend that. And I did a really painful shenanigan. And AJ knows exactly what I'm talking about because he's one of the people that donated for me to do said stupid shenanigan.
Yes.
So, yeah, for those, just to give you guys some background, we do these charity marathons at least once a month. Really, the only month that we really don't do it is December because of the holiday season. But really, all the other months, we do something. We do some sort of charity marathon for a bunch of different charities. Seattle Children's Hospital is one of our main charities we do every year. And we're in the midst of doing that marathon. But we do donation incentives to raise money to get people to donate. And, you know, it can be something similar as like $5. I sing a song of your choosing. Or $10, I do something in the game, you know, either trolley or what have you. Well, for my donation incentives, I did a couple of, I've played Overwatch, and there was a couple of donation incentives, you know, spin a couple of wheels, you know, to do some you made me do some trolley, like I couldn't use basic attacks or couldn't use abilities or whatever.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Or another wheel to select what character I play. And they were divided up, you know, either in quick play or in ranked. Ranked was a little bit more expensive to do because
people like to yell.
Yeah, you don't want to troll during a ranked game. That gets people pissed off. Unfortunately, I had to do that for 1 or 2 ranked games. But my big one was for $25. I did shots of Sriracha. If you don't know what Sriracha is, it is a chili sauce / hot sauce. And it's not even really like a sauce. It's more of almost a paste with how thick it is. But it's got a bunch of peppers and stuff in it, and it burns. And I did like 16 shots of Sriracha. I had a bottle that was almost full. Like, it was like 4/5 of the bottle full. I only have about a third or a quarter of the bottle left. And at one point we decided, you know what, for $35, shot of Sriracha with a 5-minute afterburn, because I kept, after each shot, drinking a little bit of milk. And someone decided that it'd be a great idea to make me suffer for 5 minutes.
How many people selected that?
There was a couple. Most of the shots were, you know, the $25 shot, and then I could take a drink of milk. But you were one of the people who selected to make me do the afterburn. As
let me go through my what I went through. So I'm doing my normal, you know, go around, do whatever the hell I want sort of thing, you know, cruising the internet and not looking at porn. But, you know, I was playing games and whatnot. I got out of some, and I cruised through my Twitter, and I noticed that you had sent hey, come view our charity live stream. So I did. And I'm like, all right. Yeah, Wooley's playing Overwatch. I saw it on Battle.net, so I'm like, all right. Not bad, not bad. Let's look at the things here. $5, $10, $35. You get to drink a shot of Sriracha with 5-minute afterburn. Well, I've got money to burn. Let's put some $40 down.
Screw you. It was for the kids, but screw you.
But the whole fact of the matter is that I came in unannounced, random, and I just put a donation in, and I want to see that.
Yeah, and I did it out immediately.
Of the blue, completely out of the blue.
I knew immediately as soon as you popped in the chat that I was screwed. I knew you were going to do something to make me hurt, and that you did.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm glad Rev loves me though.
Yeah.
For that.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. But here's the thing about that though. So it started off. The whole stream started off normal. People, they donated up front at the beginning of my slot to make me do a few Sriracha shots. I had like three $25 donations, so 3 Sriracha shots. At some point, a regular in our streams donated $300 in one go.
Whoa!
And this is a person who, she only does that if she likes you and likes what you're doing. And apparently she liked the fact that I put myself through pain.
Wow.
And Callie Chloe, I know you don't watch my stream, but god damn it. I love that you love me, but I also hate the fact that you love me for it.
Wow.
And to her credit, she said that she did not want me to suffer, but David, who's one of the co-owners of Rize Up Gaming, you bastard, said, nope, you gotta do shots. I was like, god damn it. So, right there, $300. I just did the $25.
That's 6 shots. Yeah, it's 6 shots for 25.
12. Yeah. No, it was for $300, 12 shots.
Oh, okay, miscounted.
Yeah.
Oh.
$100 would be 4. You dumbass.
I do good on a calculator. I don't do well on...
This man has an accounting and finance degree. He can't count.
It's all about that calculator. 1, 5, 2, 4, 8, 3, 7.
Yeah,
I counted to 10.
God damn it.
Yeah.
He's just joking on that part, but the fact that you really miscalculated that.
I ain't got learning good.
How did we graduate from the same university? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I would suggest doing so. There are a whole bunch from a non-streamer at this point. I do plan on it. They're a hell of a good group there.
Yeah. But I want to talk about my experience going through the shots for this $300 donation. So we decided, because there was so many shots, I didn't want to do them in a row for obvious reasons. But we decided that we were going to spread them out, and I was going to do a shot of Sriracha before each game. And at some point, in the middle of all this, people were donating still. And I had a couple donations I had to account for, including AJ's. But I get to shot 8 out of the 12. And I had that was probably shot number 11 or 12 of the night. Whenever I got to the 8 out of the 12 for the $300 donation. And I don't know what I did. I think I might have filled up the shot glass a little bit more than I was doing for the most part.
Oh.
And I think because of the constant putting Sriracha, doing shots of Sriracha, I think I hit a spot in the back of my mouth on the roof of it that as soon as I took the shot and it hit that spot, I immediately cringe in pain.
Oh.
And I am immediately screaming, I need a break from doing... I need to take a break from doing the shots, because it felt like I burnt a hole in the roof of my mouth. It was that immediate and that painful and that sharp of a pain that I immediately thought I did that.
Wow.
And I had to take a break, because you could see my eyes teared up. I was crying. I was breathing real hard because of the amount of heat. So I took a good break from between shots at that point. But anyway, I get through it. I do all the shots. There was no shots left over by the time I ended my stream. So, the night goes by, and at this point, my sleep schedule is all screwed up. I pretty much became nocturnal up until today. Last night I actually went to bed at a decent time and got to get him out of sleep. But I was pretty much nocturnal for that night. About 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I have to go to the bathroom. You could probably see where this is going. My butthole burned so bad! Oh my god! First off, I could tell it was happening because I had to go to the bathroom at 2:30 and there was a slight twinge. 4 o'clock, Major. Mayday. Mayday.
Oh,
Mayday.
oh, holy cow.
And the thing is, my turds had a red tint to it. Like, seriously. Like, there's a box behind you that has orange on it.
Yeah.
It was getting close to that orange.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was bad.
But by the way, I'm pretty sure you don't even know what that is. That's my wall mount that I can't put up. Want to know the story about that?
Let me guess. No studs?
No, there are plenty of studs. Plenty of them. I forgot that the wall that I wanted to put that on, it has so many wires that because the electrical box or the place where the box where
it's
everything
right
comes
there.
in at, it's over there, and I'm part of the wraparound. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
you
put it up.
Yeah.
Well, I could put it up. I could, but I'd be risking a lot, and I'm not going to do it. Now,
Yeah.
some electrician or somebody's going to say, "You're probably fine. Just shut off the power to the house."
Yeah,
I
but
could.
knowing you would probably put the screw through of some important wire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Building stuff, I'm pretty decent at. I'm definitely not like other people in my family that have fallen off of roofs. Fell through a roof.
Fell through her. Good God. Yeah,
Yeah.
but before we get off on a tangent again, because we're trying to keep this under 2 hours tonight,
Yeah.
because AJ has a thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I've got this whole weekend and next weekend's going to be pain, but we'll be able to do it on time as long as we do it early on Friday. But this whole week's been just hell, or weekend has been just hell. But
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it or donated to the charity or live stream, I highly suggest you do it.
Yeah, I'll have everything linked in the video description. If you don't want to watch the stream but still want to donate, I'll leave the GoFundMe as well.
Yep.
That's where we are taking our donations. As of right now, we're at 3,600. I suspect I suspect by the time you guys actually see this, we'll probably be about 4,000. I expect Saturday night to be a big night because we're bringing out all of our top guns. The Rize Up Gaming founder Rev is going to be streaming along with one of our artists. I think actually our head of the art department, Robo. She's really good. She creates a lot of the Rize Up stuff. But he'll be streaming, and then one of the other co-owners, Firecrow, he typically, I don't know if he's doing this, but he typically does atomic wings with extra hot atomic sauce. And he goes hard on those. A lot. And the person that donated the $300 to me loves Firecrow as well. So, yeah, so I am going to be really surprised with how much he gets donations. Rev and Firecrow get a lot just because they're the ones that built the community to begin with. So
yeah, and so they're the well-respected members that.
Yeah.
Now,
I would not be surprised if by the end of this marathon, which ends midnight Eastern on Sunday night, I would not be surprised if we hit 5,000. That's what I'm hoping for. So guys, go make that happen. Let's get us to 5,000 at the very least.
Don't even stop there. Go as much as you can.
Yeah,
it's for the children.
It's for the children. God damn it.
Yeah.
And I can say "God damn it" on this podcast because I can't say it during stream because we're keeping the stream PG. This is rated R.
Beyond rated R.
Well, we're not rated X. God damn it. We're not adults only.
Not yet.
God damn it. We're between PG-13 and rated R most of the time. So, but we're not
rated R. Yes, rated R.
God damn it, AJ. We're not showing tits. I'm not getting banned off YouTube. God damn it. But yeah, go and make sure to go check out the charity marathon. It's a great cause. Seattle Children's Hospital, they do a lot of research for like cancer and all sorts of pediatric diseases and whatnot. So guys, please go check that out. Please donate if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. We've been getting tweeted out by Seattle Children's Hospital all week. I'm sure they would be most impressed if we could get to 5,000 or more.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place to donate to, and it's all the proceeds are going straight there.
Yeah, and also go and buy the shirt. We're trying to sell 50 shirts. If we sell 50 shirts, we have a heart emote that is really popular amongst the members. And if we sell 50 shirts of this charity shirt, and I think another 50 of next month's charity shirt, the company that we do our shirts from is going to do our heart logo, our Rise Up Love emote in like a foil screen print.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, so we're trying to sell as many shirts as we can with that. Right now we only have 10 shirts sold of this one, so we kind of need to bump that up a little bit. So
yeah, but then again, your main stuff is a charity live stream.
Yeah, that's the main thing. But all the proceeds from the shirt also go to the charity as well. So guys, buy up the shirts as well. I'll have that link down in the video description as well. So please, guys, go check that out. Well, we got a couple days left. Do what you guys can. If you could buy the shirt, buy the shirt. If you could donate. It's all going to a good cause. So.
Yeah. One thing to note though that I kind of addressed yesterday, I think, it's that charity donations or donations in general, at the beginning they tend to be extremely high, and then they kind of just go straight down, and then there's a little bit, it kind of plateaus, and then it comes right back up towards the end.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and like we talked about, it depends on the streamer as well. Like I said, Rev and Fire Crew are probably going to get the most donations out of anybody, just because they are probably the most well-respected streamers in the community. But, I mean, also, we started off the marathon. The first duo streamers got $700 in donations in the GoFundMe. And then I came around the next night and got over 500 during my time slot. So, and needless to say, we've been getting a lot of everyone. I think every streamer, unless this changed today, but every streamer, at least as of last night, had earned money during the marathon.
Yeah.
So,
I would imagine that trend to continue, but I don't imagine that trend, the high money.
Yeah, I mean,
high money relative terms.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think.
Whenever, I mean, I talked to you after I finished mine, and I even talked to you and said, you know, at the time I was the second highest earner, because I got like 510, 520, and then everyone else had split like 400 something amongst everybody. So, but I think that record might have been broken because we had a guy, and let me pull up his name. I think his name was Phil the Drill. And his big thing is that he personally is on stream. He's actually a puppet. You should watch that stream. That stream was hilarious. He had pre-made videos of skits, and he had different price levels. And if he received a donation, he would play the videos. And the skits were funny. They were very kid-friendly. And he probably came close to beating me out, I think. He got quite a few donations. And he actually had more viewers than me. He was getting up like 100 plus viewers. And I think I was getting averaging 60 viewers during my stream, which is pretty impressive for me, seeing how most of the time I stream on there I can only hold 30 or 40. But during charity marathons, getting up to 60 or 70 is pretty good for me. So I think
setting personal bests. That's all you got to do.
Yep, and I think he probably beat me in donations. I'm not going to go back through and try to calculate it because at this point it becomes a cluster to try to figure that out. Unless you just go back and watch every single streamer and calculate from there. But yeah, I mean, we've had some pretty big draws for streamers and their time slots. So yeah. But anyway, guys, go check out the stream. Go check out the GoFundMe. Go donate. Buy the charity shirts. Go.
Yeah, feel free to donate after this video though, because we want you to enjoy all of it, because our what the fuck news of the week is pretty good this time. So
you know what? If you don't go and watch the stream, at least have the stream open so you count as a viewer. But you can always mute the stream and continue listening to us. So
yeah, because we matter.
Yeah, we matter. We're two guys on YouTube. We matter.
Yeah,
we're kind of a big deal, even though not really. But
okay, so anything else to say?
No, just donate. Try to get us to at least 5K. That's all I can really say at this point.
Like I said, it's for the children. It's a good cause.
Yep.
So the big news today, aside from El Chapo, which I didn't even tell you about that El Chapo moved to the United States the day before.
Isn't he like a big Mexican drug lord?
Mm-hmm. Captured by the Mexican that continuously escapes for some reason. They're going to shut down the Brooklyn Bridge to transfer him because they don't want him escaping, which is pretty big. But the big news today is the inauguration of the 45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, which I didn't know his middle name was John until today.
Any significance for you since your middle initial's J?
Well, it makes my name a little bit more presidential, I think.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just leave that at that. But yeah,
so,
he gets inaugurated. He got inaugurated today. Now, I was away in St. Louis. I was at a job interview for pretty much most of the day today. I had to meet with the job agency company that got me the interview to begin with. I had to meet with them, which I was talking to them while the inauguration was going on, and then afterwards I had a job interview with the actual company that was looking to hire. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, was there really any like big topics of discussion? Obviously, I know that a lot of the Obama stuff was pretty much removed. A lot of the Obama's executive orders was pretty much wiped off the table.
Not yet. Not
well, quite a bit of them.
He hasn't done anything yet.
He hasn't done.
And I don't imagine he's going to do anything until tomorrow because he looked tired.
Yeah.
I mean, because the man has a long day ahead of him, even now. He's got the inaugural ball, which I think is going on now. At the time of the recording, anyway.
Yeah.
He looked tired at 10 o'clock whenever he got inaugurated, which I woke up and felt the same because I was. It was not fun anyway.
Well, has he gotten all of his businesses into that a blind trust or whatever? They need
if it's not, it's in the process of it.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine it will be at some point if it hasn't already.
Probably by the end of next week, it'll probably be done for sure. I would think.
I don't. At this point, I'm not really concerned about it, but I know a lot of people are. But honestly, if he could run his businesses and be the president, I would be impressed.
There's no way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's impossible because there's too much stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but A, he has to try to keep his conflict of interest as low as possible, and B, I mean, you're trying to run a country at the same time you're running companies. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Between all the diplomatic shit you have to do, he's going to have to travel all over the globe to meet with political leaders. There's no way. Absolutely no way. But anyway,
as far as I'm concerned with this conflict of interest, I think he was more of a real estate person anyway. So,
yeah, I really don't see how much that's really going to affect his decision making. I mean, it could. Obviously, there's always a chance, but I don't know. It's going to be tough to tell. But I mean, he got inaugurated today.
His first executive order today. He did sign a couple. He ordered federal agencies to ease the burden of Obamacare, while his chief of staff directed an immediate regulatory freeze.
Okay. So.
I'm watching him sign it now. Well, it was from earlier today, but it's...
So, yeah, so he's obviously got his... He's obviously doing stuff immediately, which is probably a good thing. But, anyway... Let's talk about the reactions of all the inaugurations, of the inauguration stuff. Because obviously, beforehand, we had a lot of protest about it. A lot of people saying they are going to boycott the inauguration, including a lot of political figures. Obviously, Democrats. That there's several of them that decided they weren't going to go. Although there were a lot of people that actually did show up that I would not expect. Like, I wouldn't expect Bernie to actually show up for the inauguration, but you said he did.
I believe so anyway. Because there's nowhere that says that he didn't show up.
Yeah.
But our wonderful Senator Dick Durbin actually went, which was a surprise to me, because he is pretty bad democratically.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At some point, you just gotta accept the fact that there's someone who's not part of your party in office, even if you hate the guy's guts and hate his political views or whatever. You know, the things that he did.
It's a power play, because he knows there are a lot of Republicans in the state of Illinois, even though we're a heavily blue state. For some reason, we have a ton of Republicans. And I think he knows that if he slips up, he's done.
Yeah, well, we're a blue state because of Chicago. I mean, let's be frank. Chicago and somewhat East St. Louis, but
I mean, I've said before that Chicago accounts for at least.
There
we go.
Yeah,
they got a little fuzzy there.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
from
Chicago.
What I know,
Chicago
is about half of our votes, at least.
Yeah, I mean,
you're talking about Democrat.
You're talking about what, 9.5 million people in the Chicago metropolitan area? So
around there, maybe a little more.
Yeah, and the state's population is probably like how many million? Probably like 20.
Yeah, I would say.
Of course, that's going down because people keep moving out because there's no jobs here.
I don't blame them either. I really don't blame them.
Yeah.
Let me turn off my focus.
Yeah, you figured that out, but apparently during the inauguration, even after, there's been protests going on. Just going about looking on the internet, there's people continuously providing live coverage of all the protests. Like, it's nuts the amount of crap that's going down.
Is that good?
Yeah. Say what?
Is that good? My focus?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You were fine to begin with. It's just the autofocus will occasionally do that kind of crap.
Now I'm not. Now I'm in focus everywhere. So.
Yeah.
You can see my ugly mug close up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some articles about all the Trump protests. Obviously, you got the LBGT.
So far, I've seen about 95 protesters get arrested.
Yeah.
But that's unverified. I have no idea where that came from. Probably Fox. But while you're looking up stuff about that, currently about I would say 51 members of Congress abstained from the inauguration, and they're all Democrats.
Yeah.
To nobody's surprise. One from Illinois, which was not the one from Illinois that I thought it was going to be. And that's Luis Gutierrez, who is right between north and south, with a little bit outside.
Yeah,
Chicago. So
we had to look up what district he was representing in Illinois. He represents, what was it, the 4th district?
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, if you want a case of gerrymandering, just look up the 4th congressional district of Illinois.
No, as I said earlier, the 17th district of Illinois between 2003 and 2013 was ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
was
just a little pin, and
yeah,
that's
that
a
one
case
was,
of gerrymandering.
yeah.
But the thing is,
the fourth
Democrats
district as well. The current fourth district's pretty bad as well.
Yeah,
Considering
it's
how far
it's not as bad.
it's not as bad, but it's still it's kind of up there.
Okay, here's a question, and one of many that I'll ask you. Do you see any use for political gerrymandering?
Any use for political gerrymandering?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some use because here's the thing: people move, within a 10-year period. I mean, because the way our gerrymandering system works is we do a census, we figure out the population, and then a few years later, the states go and redraw their districts. And depending on who's in power, this could really screw up the system. But I mean, there's a purpose for it, but I really think it needs to be an independent third party because at this point, because you could have you could have a red state have mostly blue representatives.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think, well, political gerrymandering is bad. I do see one use to it, and it's political representation.
Yeah.
We are a representative democracy, or representative republic, actually.
Yeah.
We assign people to make our decisions for us. And if you don't have somebody that agrees with your view representing you, wouldn't you feel kind of crappy about that? Now, granted, there's weird things like, well, a Democrat could live next to me in a very heavily Republican district, and he wouldn't have his voice. But we're talking about on the whole. If your district on the whole is very Republican, why split it up?
Exactly. And here's the thing: the way that it's done now is that all the lines are drawn by the party that controls that state's state government. So for us in Illinois, it's mostly controlled by the Democrats.
Yeah.
So the Democrats will draw lines and try to get as many Democratic representatives as possible. And that's done a lot basically because of Chicago. Chicago itself has 4 or 5 districts in it, in and around the metropolitan area, or more actually, because I think in the map we looked at there was 7 or 8.
Easily, yeah.
And then you just see these, and they're all really small. When you look at the map, there's arrows pointing to certain districts because they're too tiny to fit the numbers in there as far as area. But then you look at some of the districts, like my district that I'm registered to vote in is, what was it, the 15th district?
I think so.
And then you're registered in the 13th district.
Yep.
And our districts are huge, and they cover a crap ton of different counties and towns.
Whereas Chicago, I think they try to make it to where they're all even in terms of population.
Yeah, and that's what the whole thing is for. You make it even by population, but whenever you consider the fact that Chicago, the metropolitan area, has 9.5 million people, it's not that hard to get a lot of Democrats there because that area is mostly Democratic. It's not Republican for the most part.
Definitely not.
It has its Republican areas. I'm sure there's a couple of the suburbs that are Republican strongholds, but they gerrymander it to where those are counteracted by Democratic strongholds and mostly Democratic areas. So it's...
But then again, I don't see a problem with gerrymandering if it's done right, and I think that's the big thing. If it's done right...
If it's done right, it represents the people better. But the fact that it's not done right, it's done with a motive to get more of your party in power. That's whenever things can become a problem.
Well, that's when you move to South Dakota or Vermont or someplace that only has one.
Yeah,
and then you just vote in one person.
Yeah, if you go into some of the states, I think Idaho's... Well, Idaho, I don't know if it's one. I can't remember if it has 3 or 4 electoral votes. But if your state only has 3 electoral votes, meaning that the population's so small it can't be split into districts, that it's just, you have one representative for the entire state, then, I mean, you don't deal with this issue. But if you have, a state like Illinois, which has 20 electoral votes, or 19, 20, and then you have, like, California's got to be a shit show, right? Because they have 55 electoral votes.
And
New York has, like, 20 plus. Texas has, like, 21 30. Or 22 or 30.
I think so. Let me look.
I didn't think they were that. I didn't think they were that high. Florida has like 20 or 21.
Texas has 38. California has 55. New York has 29.
Yeah. Okay.
Florida has 29.
Florida had 29. Oh shit! I thought they were way smaller.
Yep.
But if you have states that are like that, I mean, those places get gerrymandered and politicized to shit. I mean, it's rather difficult to say that those states get fair representation.
Get this. Estimated 2024 electoral votes just came out. Texas will be at 42. New York will be at 28.
Okay, so
Illinois will be 18.
Yeah, that's actually not surprising considering how Illinois... they did like estimates as far as population, like growth and shrinkage, and Illinois had the largest downturn in population out of any state in the union.
In 2024, they're expecting the number. Well, if we take what was this year's general map about state winners, Republicans will get a 3-point addition because. Michigan lost a point because they were at 16, now they're at 15.
This is based off estimates based on what they think the population's going to do.
Yeah. Pennsylvania has 19, so they dropped 1 because I think they were 20. Ohio got a big gain, I think. No, Ohio lost 1.
Yeah.
But Texas got the big gain, Florida got the big gain, North Carolina got 1. So... But it's mainly people leaving Illinois.
Yeah, and I want you to think about the way those states are going right now. Those are states that are losing jobs. Those are states that are behind technologically. You think about places like Texas. Texas, is particularly Austin, Texas, is having a technology boom right about now.
Oh, well, all of Texas has a
all
boom.
Of Texas is booming. A lot
because
of it
because oil, they've got they're pretty much self. Whatever the word is.
Self-sufficient?
Yes.
Yeah. So Texas has a big oil boom, and Austin, Texas in particular, has a big technology boom going on right now. Austin, they have Google Fiber. They have a lot of technology companies coming in. They are booming in Austin in particular. But they also have the oil booms and whatnot happening too. So you look at North Carolina, very similar technology boom going on over there. The Triangle, which is like Raleigh-Durham, and where Duke, North Carolina State, and I think Wake Forest. I think those 3 colleges are right there in what's called the Triangle. They're up for, I don't know if they have Google Fiber yet, but they're also a candidate for Google Fiber. Raleigh, North Carolina is, a technology center as well. So those states are kind of having... All those states that are gaining are the ones that have the better economies and the better technology booms and whatnot.
Yeah, and you're right. And as you said, the ones that are losing are the ones that
don't have good jobs, like Illinois. I mean, there's a reason I went to St. Louis today. Illinois' job market is crap.
Yeah, if you're not into farming, this is not the state for you. Or if you're not in the big city.
If you have a professional job... Unless you're moving to Chicago, the job market is...
Or working for the state. Or working
for the state in one manner or another.
Yeah.
There's just not a whole lot of jobs. And the state government's crap. The state budget is crap. And the state is very anti-business. So...
Yeah. And even with our current Republican governor, it's still not going to... Nothing's changed because we have... so much political gridlock that it's just not funny.
The state state Congress, the state General Assembly, is still very much in Democratic control.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chicago, you bastards.
Yeah, but I feel like if there could, okay, Bruce Rauner is our governor, and he's been saying for 2 years that we need to do something. We need to start getting stuff or start getting more involved. Well, guess what? He can't get involved because there's so much political gridlock that he can't do anything, or he proposes something and it immediately gets shot down.
Yeah, I mean,
so what's the point? And the gal that I voted for to be my representative, I don't think she was all about this whole, well, we need to work together in Congress, we need to get people in there.
But the representatives in our state assembly and the senators, they just will not work together.
Yeah, not to mention there, as I've said before, there was a lot of shit flinging in our
in your guys'
in our election.
Yeah, in your election.
Yeah, because the gal that represents me apparently had a fake photo of her nude leaked to some of her congressional districts, or to some of the people in our congressional district. And it was obviously fake, but
that still kind of hurt her a bit.
I still wouldn't want to see it because she's had 2 kids already, and she's like our age.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of meh about it, but
yeah. But either way, I mean,
but that's kind of a dirty move. But his opponent even came out and said, or her opponent even came out and said, that wasn't us. Whoever did it needs to stand down. We do not want to run this kind of a campaign. And I'll be fair, both parties were really good. They were both really good. And as a matter of fact, we even considered voting Democrat, which we haven't really considered a lot, but we've done it now twice in the past couple of years, right, because people keep coming to our door and saying, excuse me, sir or ma'am, do you have a moment to talk about politics? I would like to get to know your opinion on this matter. Who am I to say that I'm not going to even consider voting for somebody if they come up and talk to me face to face? I can't say that I'm not going to consider voting for that person. Right. In the end, we wound up not voting for him, and I feel bad about it. But he made me really consider it. And towards the end, we kind of realized that he prided himself on not being involved in politics, and that he's just got fed up because he got retired. We found out that he was actually a city comptroller or something like that, or county
clerk, or
county clerk. So he had a little bit of politics already under his belt.
Yeah, although really county clerks don't get involved that much in the politics. Really, it's an elected position, but what do they really do at the campaign?
They just put their name on the ballot and hope that there are enough D's voting instead of R's.
Yeah, or vice
or
versa.
people that notice it, because a lot of people just fill in the president and then turn it in.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a little off track there.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have about 50 people that aren't going.
That didn't go.
If you want to, that didn't go. If you want to see the list, it's Yahoo link. All Democrats, by the way. I expected more from California, but I think they wanted their time in the rain, sun.
Yeah, I mean, can't go. Yeah, this list just keeps going and going. I'm not even going to show you guys all the members because first of all, it's all Democrats. Let's say that. And a lot of it is like the coastal states too. I mean, there's a couple of guys from like Texas and Tennessee that I see. But a lot of it's like the West Coast, the Western or Eastern United States. There's not a whole lot of it that's like Midwest. You have a few offshoots. You have Kentucky, you have Mississippi, you have a couple of Texas and Tennessee Congress people or representatives or senators, whatever they want to be called. But really, for the most part, it is East Coast and West Coast, and the Midwesterners are like, eh.
If your congressional representative is on this list, please consider saying something to them. Don't say good job, because you're basically saying, I don't want this person to be my president. And you're basically slapping him in the face.
Yeah.
Or her, if it ever comes about.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and show the article then now that you said that. But,
yeah, because to me, I feel like that's more of a congratulations on winning your presidency. It's basically a day all about him. It's all about here's your new shiny new office.
Yeah. But,
you're gonna make me yawn. I don't want that.
Well, I've been up since like 6 this morning, so.
Right. But turning slightly back to the inauguration, since you weren't there to watch it, I watched him actually getting sworn in and watched his speech afterwards. It wasn't bad. It was what you would expect Trump to say, because at this point he kind of sounds like a broken record. I'm going to bring back jobs. I'm going to do this. We're going to bring back jobs. We're going to do this. This is what's happening. I'm with you. I am your extension of your voice. We're putting the people back in power. That sort of stuff. But even though I said it,
was it more presidential than his normal thing? I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is if he was more presidential with this speech than he has been for a while.
Well, with most of his speeches, he is. If you look at his words, he barely uses the word "I" unless he's referring to himself as a political servant to the for the people.
Right.
Because he tends to be that way, and I have nothing bad about that to say, because, to be honest, a president should be somebody that doesn't push an agenda, that should be an extension of the person or of the people.
Right.
But
I will say this: if at this point, I think he's gonna have to get into a mode of, it's no longer campaigning. He's no longer having to fight with people about, Russia hacking and getting involved with the election.
By the way, the POTUS and Vice President Twitter handle got switched.
Okay.
POTUS 44 is Obama's official.
Okay. Please tell me that Trump is not going to be using that Twitter.
I imagine that he is going to use it, but he's going to use it very minimally. I think that he's going to use his personal Twitter to do his normal duties of yelling at people.
I hope he doesn't use his personal Twitter. I swear to God. Because his thing, he can't hide it. He honestly cannot hide his Twitter. I hope that whatever they do, they take his Twitter away from him, because at this point he is now the president. He is now a person of power. If you take his tweet, if you allow him to tweet from his personal Twitter, it might as well be on the official POTUS Twitter.
But also, if you remember, Barack Obama has his own Twitter account anyway. So, and he had it during his presidency and used it. So that would be kind of a bad thing.
Okay, but
not to mention he has more followers on his personal Twitter account than POTUS does, because several, I think it was like 2 million people left the POTUS because they just kind of didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So.
But I gotta ask this: when he used his personal Twitter, did Obama ever have the type of outburst and all that shit like Trump did?
No.
Exactly. That is my big concern. What happens if Trump has an outburst and goes after Iraq or Iran or someone who's threatening nuclear power like North Korea? You know what I mean? It starts to become a point of, okay, does he get to a point of it being part of national security?
Okay. Personal opinion time. I hope that this whole thing's a personal opinion anyway, but
yeah.
I would hope that he tones it down a bit. I believe he wanted to have that outburst because he wanted more people to follow him, and I'm hoping he dials it back now that he's actually president.
I hope he dials it back completely, because when he had those outbursts, it was good for his campaign just simply because he got press.
Yeah, but
And
also that's what the people that voted for him voted for. Well, most of them, um, they wanted to see him yell at people, and they wanted to see him basically just tell people I've had enough.
yeah, but it gets to a point where you have to go, okay, stop campaigning and start being presidential. And now's the
I
time to
don't
do
think it's
it.
campaigning anymore. I don't think he's campaigning anymore. I think he's, like I said, I think he's doing it to get more attention to his Twitter because I think, and if he's smart enough, he'll then turn that around and say, "Here's where my primary mode of, I will put some press releases here." But I don't know.
Mm. I don't know. I mean, if you look at his past Twitter history, he was kind of out there as well before he started running.
Some of it, yeah, and I don't expect that to stop. But
I don't
dialing
expect
it
this.
back
He
will
needs to
be
dial it back
nice.
hardcore if he's going to be the leader of the free world. In my
Oh,
personal
don't
opinion,
tell me that. Oh,
he has to. He absolutely has to. I think dial it back a shit ton.
for me personally, if it's just a little, even if it's, I think you would say probably 75 to 100%. I would probably say about 50. Kind of half throttle it back because people still expect this from him, and if he dials it back completely, then people are going to say, "Well, then what happened to the president that I wanted?"
Well,
So he can't just completely shut it off, but at the same time, we want him to start yelling at people because that's what the people that voted for him wanted, or at least that's what I think.
I don't mind him yelling at people. Just don't fucking do it over Twitter. Because, first of all, 140 characters is not enough to do anything good if you put out a pissed off tweet. That's just fact. You cannot have an actual conversation via Twitter. If you're going to try to do something diplomatic, do it face to face, do it over the phone. I don't care. Just keep it off Twitter.
Remember that the Rise conference that we went to, and we had that. Well, I don't know if you were there or not for the what the hell was it called? The social media stuff.
I'm pretty sure I was there. Because if you were there, I was there. That was pretty much a given.
Uh, the social media thing about basically using social media as a news outlet more than anything else. Um, Personally, if you take somebody's personal Twitter account seriously, then you're kind of barking up the wrong tree. But then again, people use Twitter for information gathering, and that's why this country's kind of in the state that it's in right now, because we take social media so seriously that it could be true, but it also could be wrong. Like four teens beating up a white man. Four teens, not four black males. It's four teens.
Yeah, I mean, well, remember it wasn't also males either. It was four African American adults. We could say that because it was like two
But
women and two men.
we've seen
We
accounts that have said that what I said about four teens beat up a white male.
Yeah, we've seen the political spin from the news outlets. We've also seen completely fake news. I mean,
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely. Like the Golden Shower Gate. Yeah, that's fun.
we've seen that. We've seen.
By the way, I hate myself for saying that, but
Yeah.
it's true.
we
I
see,
hate Gate.
We've seen the Golden Shower Gate thing. We've seen the whole fake news of people saying Trump did this when he didn't do it, or saying that Hillary did this when she didn't, or saying that Obama did this when he didn't. We've seen all that shit happen, especially over the past year and a half, I would say.
But when we see, I think we've become too dependent on social media for news. But the thing is, we don't have a good enough source of news to justify it. So we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. At least my personal opinion is we don't know where to get our information from, so we default to social media.
Yeah.
And first of all, if you think that getting news from Facebook matters, get that out of your head right now.
Yeah.
Facebook is the worst.
Yeah, because they do not go through, and you'll get fake news just as much as you'll get real news. Like,
not to mention, even if you do get real news, it's censored. And Mark Zuckerberg said something about he doesn't censor it. I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah,
I think they do.
I don't try. Like, here's my big issue though, as far as taking that. Nobody reads the actual articles in those Facebook or Twitter.
Well, on the whole,
news.
they just look at the.
They look at the headline.
Yeah,
and that's true for everyone in the U.S. And there's very few people.
Because headlines grab attention.
Headlines grab attention, and maybe they read the first paragraph. But if you ever taken a writing class or any sort of like news journalism class, they will tell you need the catchiest title you can, and that first paragraph is just boom. Here's what happened. There's no detail.
Yeah.
Once you get into the other paragraphs.
Ideally, what you do is you put the synopsis up at the top, and then you kind of drizzle the information that way.
Yeah, but the problem is that the people's reading styles, they might only read the first 2 paragraphs and that's it. Excuse me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we both got the burps and hiccups.
Yeah, but yours is sriracha and mine's a burrito. But for me, I got suckered into that too because I'm like, oh, there's an article that's interesting, and I read it, and it's like, this is stupid. It's all, and that's another thing too, is that most of it's speculation.
Yeah.
Like, top 10 biggest pieces of crap on the planet, and it's all speculation.
Yeah, or it's like, it's always a top 10 list. It's always a...
Well, not just a top 10 list, but I've seen other things that have become very high speculation, but like, you'll never believe what President Obama stuck up his ass or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something stupid, and then it's like, oh, well, he had a suppository shoved up there. I could have figured that out.
Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, social media news, BuzzFeed, and any company like BuzzFeed is so clickbait and sensationalized.
Yeah.
And people take it so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't trust people to actually take the news and actually verify it. And that's the problem. People will just want to see it and they go with it. They don't see it and question it. Like, I forgot to mention this topic, but we'll have to talk about the whole A Dog's Purpose video that came out earlier this week. We will have to talk about that because I have some opinions on that I think a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
Well,
we can kind of squeeze that in.
I think you will be surprised by my opinion about it because I'm guessing that you're kind of are you in the road about the dog being abused? Are you thinking it was that?
I'm thinking that there's more to the story.
Yeah, I have my doubts about the way the TMZ presented it, and we'll get into that later.
But then, okay. First of all, if we have to use TMZ as a primary source, that's terrible. Terrible.
Well, that's the thing. TMZ is the one that broke the story. That's why I brought them up. That's the only reason I brought them up, but we'll get into that later in the show.
Yeah,
okay?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to update the thing to add. I'm going to put that after the... Oh, blast it. I'm going to put that... here. What's the thing?
TMZ, A Dog's Purpose. Yeah, he's going to update that in our Discord that we use to actually go and list off all of our topics. But getting back on the inauguration and all the bullshit that we've had to deal with, I would actually we'll actually talk about that next. We'll get to we'll do that next since I mentioned it, and I really don't want to forget it. But don't even worry about fixing it in the Discord.
Too late.
You barely even fixed it. You just changed the number. You didn't change the order. Don't even worry about it, though. We got things to talk about. God damn it. And we are
It's not perfect. It's not perfect.
We are only 2 topics in, and we're already an hour into the show, AJ. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
like I said, we're not... Yeah, we're... so, anyway, I've got some questions for you, and then my topic, and then we'll move on. Since now former President Obama's term is now over, how would you grade President Obama's presidency? on a traditional A, B, C, D, and F scale, and give the percentage number if possible.
I would say somewhere between a B and a B minus. I think he did better than average. Obviously, he got some stuff done.
Yeah.
And he did it on good intentions. However, I think the stuff that he got done on good intentions, I think did not work out the way he had hoped. The Obamacare law, I think, comes to mind. Or Affordable Care Act, whichever way you want to call it.
Which people think that's different.
Yeah, and I saw that video too. That was...
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, it was well-intentioned. They got a lot of people insured. But like we've talked about in the past, the insurance is not good. The people's premiums have skyrocketed. Deductibles are high as hell. It's just... It was well-intentioned, but it wasn't good. The fact that during his term, he made the call to go after Bin Laden in Iran. I think that was probably one of the highlights, and where I go, you know what, they only gave it like a 60 or 70% chance that he was there, and the fact that he pulled the trigger and did such a high risk thing, I give him that.
Yeah,
I will give him props for making that call and getting the job done.
All right, I'm going to throw an asterisk on mine.
Okay.
Because history is not instant. We will figure out more about what Obama did later on. So this is an asterisk. It can go up and it can go down. I'm going to give him a solid C.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, it's kind of up in the air.
Right.
A lot of his results, as you said, were good intentions, but mediocre results at best. Some good results. And some that I would absolutely say that were probably some of the best stuff that he's ever done. But with Fast and Furious, with the whole the nuclear deal with Iran, I think that was the dumbest thing. The 5 people for one trade, that one was absurd.
Okay, you're actually making me change my grade now.
Yeah, he's had some really bad moments, but that's not to say that he hasn't had. And also the fact that during his tenure, I do believe that race relations got worse.
Yeah.
Not because of him, but because it's just on the whole. But I would expect an African American president to unite people and to basically continue MLK's message of becoming one with everybody and be peaceful.
Yeah, and I'll say this, though. I think he tried. I honestly think he tried, but I think that the tensions have just been so bad because...
You can't do much about
it. And there's stuff that he just can't control. Like, I mean, how do you control race relations when you got normal citizens calling other people racist who are not racist, or bigots who are not bigots? How do you control that as president? You can't. You can't silence speech like some people are trying to, and the whole censorship of especially like the college campus stuff. I mean, you're seeing the rise in the alt-right, in the white supremacy, because of not Obama's actions, but the actions of some of his far left supporters. I will say that.
because with people being pushed far one side, the other side's going to do the same.
Yeah, I think Noon's law of motion is paramount here, because we have an equal and opposite reaction to the far left growing. Now you have the far right growing as well.
Yep.
And I think those two correlate so well together. But
you said you wanted to change your grade or
I
think
think now it's a B- to a C+. And I'll give you one other thing that we haven't touched on about his grade. Gitmo.
Yeah, he never closed it.
He never closed it. It was one of his big things he wanted to do as president. He can never close it for whatever reason. And even if he did close it, I would want to know what would happen to all the prisoners. Where would they go?
Well, we'd have to send him to either other countries or put him somewhere else. But the thing is, some of those people are so dangerous that we don't want to keep them. We've sent some people already to Saudi Arabia. That's going to go over well.
Yeah.
And the United Arab Emirates, we've sent some people, but we can't close it. We can't reliably close it. I will say another thing that's going to be part of the asterisk part of it is what about the relations between U.S. and Cuba?
Yeah, I think
he said a lot and he's angered Cubans by removing the wet foot, dry foot policy.
Oh yeah, he did remove that, didn't he?
Because a lot of people depended on that to escape
Cuba and gain American citizenship. Yeah.
And now they have to go through the normal thing, and I don't agree with that. I think that he should have probably kept it, but kind of weaned it out after a while. Kind of said, okay, and you have to.
Here's the thing. I don't mind opening relations back up with Cuba and trying to make
I don't
improvements. I think that's it's overdue, to be quite honest. And I'm not saying that because I want Cuban cigars either, but
I'm more interested in the rum, I think.
Yeah, the Cuban rum, I think, is probably our better interest. But
my thing is just that we were really quick about it. Like we went from 0 to 60, and I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I mean the wet foot, what was it? What's it called again? Wet foot,
dry foot.
Yeah. I think that one.
1 foot, 2 foot, blue foot, green foot.
I think the wet foot, dry foot should still be a thing. And until something happens to where we could get better relations with Cuba and could possibly open up the immigration path for them, because it was not open at all. At least since the Cold War.
And another thing too that kind of really irked me, and that I'm actually going to probably I'm going to revise mine too. It's still going to have the asterisk, but it's going to be probably a 70 C minus, close to D plus. I'm not saying that it's horrible, but I'm saying that it's kind of down more. His pardons and commutations during the last few days of his presidency, he gave clemency to Chelsea Manning, who leaked sensitive documents from the Army, I think.
Right.
But didn't pardon Edward Snowden and those people that are part of WikiLeaks because it was a political move. And I feel like that was kind of a bad thing because they both did the same thing. They both leaked information of bad things that happened.
Right.
But if you're going to do one, you kind of have to do the other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And not to mention, one of it wasn't even the leaking of the DNC's emails. That wasn't even. That's not even a governmental thing. It's like with Chelsea Manning. She actually it was a he at the time because that's a popular thing. Oh no, I'm caught. I gotta get a sex change.
Yeah.
Because you're viewed as something completely different, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, just a whole bunch of stuff changed, and I don't agree. Or she linked stuff about the Army, and I think that even though nobody died from it, I think that was kind of worse than, oh no, I leaked some emails about the DNC that proves what the right was thinking all along, and that they're a bunch of corrupt scumbags. Now, I'm not saying that the RNC isn't a bunch of corrupt scumbags. I mean, look at our Secretary of State or whatever, Prince Rebus, I think. He's probably very corrupt too, but we don't have any proof on it yet. I'm kind of smelling a little bit, but it's not as it didn't stink near as bad as the DNC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure about the whole pardon thing because every president has given pardons out. I think that one particular case, though, because of the similarities between Snowden and Manning, I think there probably is a little bit of a cause for, okay, wait a minute, why'd you do this for this person but not for the other? And I think one of the biggest differences was the mere fact that when Manning leaked it, I guess it's she now, right?
Yeah, it's a she.
Yeah. She actually went through the whole process, if I'm not mistaken. She actually went through the whole judicial process.
Yeah.
Snowden has yet to do that.
And I don't think he will because, he's in Russia. By the way, I'm opening a window. I'm not leaving the thing.
Yeah, you just got up and just walked out of frame like I did earlier. But
yeah, it's hot as hell.
And plus, I don't think he ever will because his asylum did get extended in Russia. So
yeah,
so he's not going to come back anytime soon to face that. And I think that's kind of the thing. I will say this though: Snowden did get to a point, did hand it off to people to redact everything. So no officials or private information will get leaked. That shouldn't get leaked. But Manning did not redact. She immediately posted online.
One was cautious, the other one wasn't, and that's a completely different debate for a different time. So anything you liked about Obama's term?
I mean, here's the thing. He started in a hole. The economy tanked right at the end of Bush's term, and unfortunately, Obama did have to deal with that. Well, I don't know if I can completely blame Bush for the downturn like a lot of people would.
It started, I think, with Clinton with NAFTA. I think that started.
Well, NAFTA was a big deal, but I mean, when you think about 2008, the financial crisis we had with the housing market,
that too. That was a whole bunch of stupidity.
That wasn't Bush's fault. That was the bankers trying to take advantage of a system, and it blew up in their face. But
let's all blame the president that's in charge because that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. But
ow,
knee into the table.
Yep, I'm not used to this yet. So
yeah, but I mean, the mere fact that Obama had to kind of take the shit economy in stride, and it's improved a little bit. It's hard to see the results, but there has been slight improvements here and there. I mean, could you imagine if we graduated from college in 2008, how fucked we would have been?
Oh, I can only imagine.
At least by the time we graduated in 2014, the economy had gotten better and jobs were at least, on the rise, at least a little bit.
By the way, I'm seeing evidence of a double dip recession, but the second dip was nowhere near as bad as the first,
right?
For obvious reasons, because the first one was bad.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that people will try to tie into Obama that he probably shouldn't get. Like I saw tweets that listed a few things. One of them was getting gas below $2.50 a gallon, which Obama really has no control over unless he put forward an energy policy that made it easier for drilling for oil or anything like that, which he didn't. The Dakota Access Pipeline has been battled throughout his entire presidency, and
it'll continue.
And it's continuing to this day. So we can't say that he did anything for that. Really, that is OPEC just trying to keep their market share from American investments coming in, because they increased production and kept it there for a long time and forced the American oil companies to back off because it wasn't profitable for them anymore. So I can't give gas prices to him. I just can't for that reason. Let's see, what else was there that they said? I don't know. Like I said, the healthcare law, we touched on that. I mean, so yeah, I think a C plus is probably about where he probably will end up. He was average. He was slightly above average in some cases. He was below average in others. I think he did slightly more good than bad. But, I mean, there's so much that we have to wait 5, 10, 20 years down the road to see what happens.
Personally, a very big thing that I hope, unfortunately it got shut down recently with Occupy Democrats to Occupy Wall Street and all this other garbage that came through. Mm-hmm. I really liked his message of hope and change. Unfortunately, it wasn't the change we asked for, but he gave kind of an aura of hope that everything that we could dream, we can hope for, and that message still resonates to this day. It's just, it's not it's been really kind of diluted because of all the negativity.
It's been strained. There's not the confidence as far as job hunters like myself. It's down. Like I'm even afraid to say that an interview went well because I've been burned so many times. But I mean, it's hard to.
We can only try.
Yeah, it's hard to be confident in this economy. Still,
well, in our area.
In our area, for sure. I'm sure in big cities, I'm sure it's fine, but in our small to mid-sized town America that we live in, it's tough to be confident about the job market.
Yeah. How about this? Here's another question, and this will be my final question, and then we'll get to the topic. Pardon me. How do you think Trump will do?
Oh man, I hope he does well. He's got everything in place for him to put some policies that he wants to in place. I'm really concerned about what he's going to do as far as Obamacare. Obviously, because he wants to do the repeal and replace. There's some major concerns about how that's going to affect everything.
Right.
Because he has to find a way to keep as many people insured as possible while at the same time lowering the rates.
Matter of fact, his first executive order, as I said earlier, was to ease the burden of Obamacare while his chief of staff directed an immediate regulatory freeze. So basically, it's more of it's to, quote, minimize the unwarranted economic and regulatory burdens of Obamacare and prepare to afford the states more flexibility and control to create a more free and open healthcare market. So it sounds like he wants to kind of keep it as is, but move it around to where it's more open.
Right.
So
well, he's a big believer in getting rid of the state lines for insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer in that too.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways, I mean, the insurance companies will say that they kind of like to hold state by state because they can actually have their networks are actually stronger. But whenever you start comparing the across state lines, like if we buy insurance for Indiana, do they have the same networks for Illinois doctors as do Indiana doctors? You know what I mean?
Right. But here's the other thing too. If you get more, like Blue Cross Blue Shield's going to be a major player, I guarantee it. And they're going to be probably the biggest player. The more people you get to put in the pool, the lower the cost, because more people to spread the costs over. So I would hope that by doing that, it will lower the prices. I'm hoping. Now, that doesn't always mean that it's going to happen because you could have a lot more people that get a health insurance policy that are really sick, and that they need more cost. But I don't. And I think you agree too that this healthcare stuff, getting insurances, that's not going to cover all of it. You got to do the other end as well. We got to find a way to lower the cost of healthcare from $1,000 Band-Aids to at least something reasonable.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. You have to try to keep people covered, but at the same time drop the cost. And I don't know. And there was another concern about the whole erasing state lines that I think is kind of valid. There's a lot of people, because the state-by-state regulations are so vastly different, there's a lot of people that are concerned that insurance companies will move to states with the least regulations for insurance and do that for the entire country. Well, at that point, there needs to be a federal standard at that point.
Yes,
that does happen.
I would want a federal standard. Matter of fact, I would want to see more than just Medicare and Medicaid as a baseline. I would want to see maybe a very low government-run insurance policy to kind of be a small competitor. Because if you've got that small baseline that doesn't have the negative feeling or the negative connotations of, I've got the poor man's insurance, it kind of a build up to the higher price and higher tier end stuff. So
like maybe have like insurance that's very close to like the Blue Cross Blue Shields or whatever insurance companies are out there, but have have like this company specifically work on certain income ranges. Now,
Right.
once you talk about the income ranges, that gets a bit tricky because there are people that can't afford insurance because they're like just barely above a certain line that they can't get insurance from the government, but they still can't afford.
We need an affordability index. I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, you could have a $60,000 income and have so much debt and other crap that's piled onto it that you're really living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
You could have a $100,000 person that's living paycheck to paycheck because of extreme debts, and you can't shake debts unless you decide to go bankrupt. But even then, you still can't shake like student loans and stuff. Right. So I think there needs to be kind of an affordability index that needs to say, okay, what is your net income after taxes and after loans and after everything? What is your net income? And then you can kind of go from there. I think that the lower tier healthcare insurances should be more of everybody's open to it, but it's varied on your net income and the affordability index.
I would go with net worth just because you do have the if you're making $100,000 a year, but you run a business that has some debt in it that is personally tied to you. Like if you are a sole proprietor or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, and that's where we kind of get into a little.
You have to figure out a person's net worth.
Yes,
I think needs to be the big consensus. It's like you gotta.
That's
be able
why
to
I kind of like having an affordability index more than anything, because then it says, okay, here's what you're actually bringing home. If your debt's tied to your business or something, we do not include that. We have to kind of toy around with it, but I think it's possible to have an affordability index to kind of say, okay, here's what kind of plan that you can get under our, or here's what kind of plan you qualify for, if anything. But anybody, and kind of set ranges, because right now we're kind of stuck in that we have crappy Medicare and Medicaid, in which some people definitely don't qualify for.
Right.
And then some of the lowest have premiums up in the thousands of dollars, or hundreds of dollars up to $1,000, I think, for premiums. It's just kind of a tough system to have right now, and I think if you kind of ease the curve, it'll get better.
Our American healthcare, as far as health coverage, it's really in between a rock and a hard place. You're trying to tread this line of affordability, but trying not to be a burden on the government as far as having to pay, having people pay taxes on it, or having to cover people and subsidize their payments and all sorts of stuff. It's so complex. It's so complicated. And, I mean, everything we always hear about, whether it's Trump care or Obamacare, it's always so simplified. It's like, Well,
because it has to be.
Well, it's so simplified, but it's just so complex. It's like, until we could get a solid plan put in place that gives so much more benefits with so little downsides.
Well, the GOP kind of leader in this is Rand Paul. Rand Paul is an actual physician, if I remember.
Yeah, he's an optometrist.
So I would imagine that he would have more of a say as to what's good and what's bad, because he's actually been in the field. And his father, Ron Paul, I think it was my dad actually worked with him, or under him. Of course, he thought he was kind of a loon then, and he's definitely a loon now. But it was kind of interesting to kind of hear him actually, working with this guy who is almost a well-known politician now.
Right.
But I would say that the GOP plan is in good hands because of Rand Paul. If it was just some sort of random congressman, then I probably would take issue with it. But since a physician is actually kind of spearheading the issue, I think I think we might have a better plan involved. And remember, kids, you have to pass a law before you can read it.
Oh God, don't get on the Nancy Pelosi shit again. We already tore that one to shreds in the last episode.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the last one, and this is really interesting.
Okay.
I'm going to link it here. A guy from around here, Stonington, Illinois. He's a FedEx courier. He actually attended the inauguration of Donald Trump, and he was given a $10,000 check for his dad's chemotherapy.
Oh, really?
From Trump himself. He actually met him. As a matter of fact, on the Instagram, the real Donald Trump, there's a picture of him.
Yeah.
He's a struggling single father. The invite, of course, required a suit and a nice pair of shoes, but a friend then bought him the suit and got a shoe seller to donate some shoes. And the guy told the local news station WAND-TV in Decatur, Illinois, that Trump told him that, quote, he would never have to worry again. And you can say whatever you want about Trump, but for him to actually say, you know what, for helping me out, here's $10,000, get your dad the chemotherapy that he needs. Yeah. I think that's absolutely incredible, especially in the struggling area of Stonington, which barely even is on the map.
Yeah.
I've driven through.
I don't even know where that is, and that's probably like an hour drive away from you, right? Where's that at?
It's near Decatur, if I remember. Let me look.
By the way, whenever he read off the WAND, the reason we went AO is Decatur is actually where our university, our alma mater, is. That's where we met.
Yeah, it's southwest of Decatur, near a town called Taylorville, and it's actually near a town called Booty.
Booty, Illinois.
Mm-hmm. And it's directly west of Moweaqua. Do you know where that's at?
Yeah. I know. So I thought I've seen that name before on like signs, but I just couldn't figure out where.
Yeah. But like I said, say what you will about the guy, Donald Trump takes care of people. Yeah, and all he did was just campaign for him, I think. That's all he did. He didn't do much. But
yeah, I mean, that's actually really nice. I mean, you don't get very many good feel-good stories of Trump, but that's actually a feel-good story that I think I can support.
Great to meet one of my earliest and most dedicated supporters, Trump wrote. I am deeply humbled by the faith that millions of Americans have placed in me and our movement, and to those who did not support me, I ask for the chance to be your president too as we make America great again together.
Yeah.
I saw that actually on WAND, and I thought, that's really interesting.
Yeah, there's not a lot of feel good stories around Trump, like I said. So, I'll make you go, that's nice. That's really cool. I did not know that. Thanks for pointing that out. That actually got published today. Okay, wow.
There's also two cabinet spots have been confirmed, and that's General Mattis for Secretary of Defense and John Kelly for Secretary of Homeland Security. So right now he's only got two cabinet
members. What, 12 cabinet?
At least 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's so many.
And there's at least one that they're going to fight him to the death on, or not confirmed. So back to the drawing board, I guess. Yeah. But like I said, I wanted to bring that up because first of all, it's something very nearby that I really I thought, wow, that guy just,
yeah.
I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still shocked.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's something definitely. All right.
Yep.
Is that all we have for inauguration? I mean, we went on that for an hour and some.
Yeah, let's go to a dog's purpose.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to put the article or the video up because I'm willing to bet that the video is claimed by some third-party company representing it at this point on YouTube, and I'm not finding that bullshit. So, here's the story. A video was leaked to TMZ to be from that was claimed to be from the set of A Dog's Purpose, which was supposed to go out into theaters in 2 weeks, but I think they've actually postponed it because of this video and the negative press it's got and all the bullshit that's happening. And the way TMZ reported it, first off, TMZ is so clickbaity. They're up there as well with the clickbaiters. But because their headline read something to the effect of dog forced into turbulent water or something like that. And the article kind of gave a sense of that there was a animal abuse / animal cruelty case to it. And it came with a video. The video evidence I will talk about in a little bit, but there was some video that came along with it, and social media just blew up. PETA, obviously had something to say about it, as they would.
They have something to say about everything, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, PETA had something to say about it. There was a lot of YouTube personalities, a lot of really popular YouTube personalities that were calling for protests of the movie, etc., etc., etc. Dog lovers, animal lovers, all over the place, really getting pissed off about the incident. And there's a couple of problems that I have with the video that is shown. And Philip DeFranco did a piece on it on his channel. And it's kind of very similar to, especially after hearing them talk and making a whole bunch of sense and looking at the video again. It kind of fits well with my thoughts as well. So for those of you who have not seen the video, I'll just give a brief description of it. So the video starts out, they're shooting the scene. I guess there's a part of the movie where you have a German Shepherd that is supposed to be like struggling in maybe in like a river or some sort of some really turbulent water of some sort. And they're shooting the scene. It's in a controlled environment. They have a machine that's, turning the water and make it really rough. And you see this German Shepherd with his trainer. And the German Shepherd is not having any of it. The German Shepherd is kind of, really on the fence, and the trainer's doing what he can to get the dog to go in. He'll like stick the dog's paw into the water and say, "Hey, look, it's fine," and it's trying to, get the dog to do the stunt. And these dogs are trained to do stunts like this all the time, and there's a reason they are that they are selected, because they get trained to do this stuff. And there's a good 45 seconds or so of this dog just not having any of it. And then the video gets cut to the dog being in the pool, and at the end of the video, the trainers and rescue team or whatever says cut it, saying to cut the cameras, stop the filming, to go and get the dog, because the dog was starting to go under or whatever. I have a couple problems with this video. First of all, if you are going to run a story or going to say that there was animal cruelty or animal abuse, would you not show it in the video?
Yeah, you would have to.
I see no evidence of that at all. A lot of people are saying that the guy, that trying to put the paws into the water at the beginning of the video was bad enough, possibly called to say that they're trying to force. Look, that happens all the time. Think about whenever you were a baby and your parents were trying to teach you how to swim. You were probably scared to put your feet in the water. They slowly introduce you to it. Put your feet in the water. So hey, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. That's kind of what this trainer was trying to do. He was trying to calm the dog down, get used to the water, and just basically show the dog that everything was fine.
Right.
Now, there is no video evidence of this, of the trainer throwing the dog in the water, pushing the dog in the water. There's none of that.
Yeah.
And that left a lot of people to go and fill in the blanks.
Right.
And that big cut, first of all, that jump cut that is done. I only know of that happening in 2 scenarios because of the YouTube videos I do. That either happens because A, you are cutting out dead air, or you're cutting out a mistake.
Yeah.
Or 2,
or you're purposely leaving something out.
Or 2, and this is the part that I think happened, you stop the original recording and then turn the recording back on. And I think that's the type of cut that happened here. I think it's just 2 separate video clips smushed together in an editor.
Not to mention, you said it was supposed to be the dog fighting the stuff, so wouldn't that happen anyway, like flailing about, doing whatever, and then...
Yeah, exactly.
So basically they were recording while it was recording just to get a news story.
Yeah. And
so, garbage.
And there's that.
Your fake news. Fake news.
I think it's probably that. So, you have a headline that says, "Force in the wire, there's no evidence to support it." Number 2, these were trainers from the American Humane Society, which is the ones that provide the tagline, "No animals were harmed during the making of this production." Let's see, what else was there? There was the article said that the director was on set. The director has come out and said that he was not on that set that day for that shot. And people have come out and said that it was probably because there was multiple teams for this movie, or at least an A team and a B team, and the director can't be in both at once. So that was probably what was going on. There are other like dog trainers that are kind of fighting with each other about, was this the right method? Some are saying, yeah, this is actually a perfectly normal method, yada, yada, yada. Others are saying that it's too old school, that they were trying to introduce too much at once with the dog. The trainers themselves said that, the dog was trained to do this stunt. And the production and the people behind that were doing this scene said that they had tried to do the stunt. The dog wasn't having any of it. They waited a few hours, and the dog was ready to do it. And that's the second part of that video. So when you see that type of cut, that type of jump cut, you don't know how much time. Question, because you don't know how much time's passed. And there was obviously enough time, because when you kind of look at it, the lighting, the natural lighting to happen, it is a bit different. And that does take time for natural light to change that drastically.
Yeah, and always remember, no matter what the story is, the truth always lies somewhere in the middle. Unless it's a confirmed, this is what happened. For something like this, and as I said, the day that we consider TMZ serious is the day that democracy officially dies. And today is a very apparent thing. You're always guilty until proven innocent in terms of social media. That's why I just hate using social media. In
social media, in the court of public opinion, it's guilty until proven innocent. When with our court system, it's innocent until proven guilty. Now, the Humane Society has said that they are having a third party do the investigation. Just look into what was going on. Obviously, there's testimony saying, look, here's what actually happened on set. Here's what the video isn't showing you. There's obviously that. They put the trainer who was on set on administrative leave. A lot of people are taking that as an admission of guilt, when really you do that
It's
anyway.
Just, hey, we're gonna suspend you, but if we find out that nothing's wrong, you come back and you get all your back.
Look, you're under an active investigation, just for safety concerns. We need to make sure that everything's done and everything is cleared. Once we have all the evidence we need and the investigation is done and we find out the results, if the results are you did everything proper, everything was done correctly, or this whole video was falsified in a multitude of ways, you can come back. If, however, we do find something wrong, then you're probably going to get let go. That's the type of suspension that's going on. It's like whenever you have the cops get put on administrative leave after they kill somebody. They're under investigation for possible murder. They're not going to be doing any duty until the whole investigation's done. Duty. Yeah. But
so I think it's a non-story that got turned into a story because people wanted people to feel.
Yeah, it's a non-story that people blew completely out of proportion, I feel.
Yep.
And honestly,
it's 90% of stories like this.
Yeah. And it kind of brought up a question, and I want to ask you this, AJ. When there is evidence of any sort, and there was a story about some audio evidence about a governor we're not going to get into here, apparently saying some racist shit. But when there's evidence that shows up, whether there's video evidence or audio evidence, how much reliance do you put on those type of evidence? Start off with the audio evidence first. How much reliance do you put that as evidence? And then the video evidence.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on whether you can hear an audible jump cut. Because honestly, if it's the whole thing, front to end, completely, if with context, and we'll just talk about the governor for just a brief moment. If the governor actually said something racist and didn't say, this person said, and I quote this, and this is why I feel against it, but then somebody chopped it up to only include that direct quote, then there's something wrong.
Okay,
but if it's the whole thing with context,
I want to put a context into this, since you brought up context, and really, I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. The governor that's being accused of saying this stuff is saying that the audio tapes were faked by some sort of production company who he's saying things like maybe they hired an impersonator to do his voice, a voice actor, all sorts of stuff. And there's no video, there's no visual evidence. It's all audio. And he's saying that this is the kind of stuff that's doctored, that's edited, because it's so easy to edit audio. You have no idea. You can edit audio to make it sound like you're being a smooth talker, but maybe you had some
all like this.
Yeah, exactly. And I've done it with my own commentaries where I will go in and cut out the cut out the mistakes, and it'll seem like and trying to make it seem as smooth as possible.
Right, and you're right. It's easy to manipulate audio, and
it's easier to hide it too. It's a lot easier to hide it unless you are really listening into the audio. It is really easy to fake audio evidence.
Right. Yeah.
Visual evidence is less
so.
Yeah.
It's possible, and pictures can easily be photoshopped.
Oh, yeah.
I think in terms of ease, it would be Photoshop, then audio, then video. Video is harder, but it can be faked.
It can be faked, but if you have someone with a trained eye of doing video, if you have a YouTuber who's been making videos for a while, they could notice the jump cuts. They can notice everything. Yeah. Because, I noticed the jump cut in the video and, kind of realized, wait, there's some missing here. Where is it? And there's also the slight, amount of cuts, maybe the slight amount of edits, like After Effects kind of stuff that can be spotted. And, and that's stuff that, that people who make videos or do film for a living could probably pick up that maybe the average person can't.
Well, and here's another thing too. Like I said, it all depends on context. If it was something that he said to somebody, and it wasn't in Trump's case, locker room talk, I fully expect people to start saying crap like that. I fully expect people to start saying weird crap like that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
So, in terms of Trump's case, I just disregarded it because while it was kind of out of line, it wasn't meant for anybody but the person that he was talking to. But somebody thought, well, this will make some good news later on.
Yeah.
So, to me, it all depends on context. And while audio does matter or does ring a kind of a I guess, yeah, I would agree. I would trust it less than if it were a video.
Right. Now,
But,
now, whenever I bring up the governor, he did say some pretty nasty stuff. I actually listened to
I
some
bet.
of the audio, so it was pretty nasty.
And if it's a southern governor, then I would expect
it wasn't even a southern governor. It was northern. I forget which state. I want to say it was like, I don't know if it was a governor or if it was a mayor. It may have been a mayor somewhere in Michigan or Wisconsin. I have to go back. Philip DeFranco did a piece on it, and can you tell I'm kind of copying Philip DeFranco here? Philly D?
Yeah.
A little bit, but if you're going to copy somebody and you want something to be objective.
He's somebody, and all we're doing is we're just kind of expanding on his stuff because, I mean, he presents it in a very professional manner. I will give him credit for that. He is very good at this.
He looks at both sides of issues and opinions and whatnot. So
he is about as close to bias-free as you can get.
Yeah. And, you'll never get completely bias-free, but...
Yeah, that's impossible unless you just report the news and that's it.
Yeah.
But even then, you'll still find bias because things are left out, things are added.
Yeah, headlines are manipulated. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, as far as going back to A Dog's Purpose, one other thing I have to figure out is first off, the movie was supposed to come out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How old is this video?
Right.
Because here's the thing. Production and post-production take well over a year. There's rumors going around that this video was taken in 2015. First off, I'm questioning your morals, you son of a bitch.
You're only waiting until after it's successful and gains some traction before you do anything about it. That's why they're doing it.
I question your moral code as far as why wasn't this released as soon as it happened or really close as soon as it happened. Why would you let a case of animal abuse slide for so long?
It's the same, like I said, same reason that Donald Trump stuff happened.
And then the second part is, why did you wait until 2 weeks? Yeah. Because I'm starting to wonder, was this a disgruntled, fired employee from the production company who wanted to get back in any way they can? I mean, there's just so much I have questioned about the person's morals, as well as the motive behind waiting so long.
And there's a lot of stuff that's just not adding up. And there's not a lot of the story that's even showing up. So
yeah, this is the type of story that people really see the first headline and then they never hear anything about it again.
Yeah.
Because if it comes back that report was falsified to a point where it cost the company money, like, beyond what they'll ever be able to make. I mean, good God. I don't know if that production company is going to be able to get any sort of money out of that movie now.
Well, it depends. If the production company was actually found guilty of it,
there's no way. But if they were found innocent of all wrongdoing, that news is not going to spread. Right. It's not going to spread as quickly or as widely as the negative press did.
But we all have to have breaking news reporting now, and that's why I'm thinking that democracy is dead in this country.
We must be first. We must be clickbaity. We must do this.
Mm-hmm. And there's a problem with that because there's no information to go off of. So you're just reporting what somebody else reported that could be fabricated, which I'm betting this TMZ thing is fabricated now that I'm hearing more about it.
Yeah, I would expect that
close.
There's some shady shit going on with that video. I just feel it. I don't have any evidence to support it, but I do have a feeling that there's some shady shit. That's my opinion, at least. I know there's a lot of people, even in my circles, with some of the communities I'm a part of, people who I don't know if they just completely ignored the cut, or if they just didn't notice it, or I don't know.
Or they don't even care.
But people who were very sympathetic and were supporting the anti-animal abuse side, I wonder how much they actually noticed it.
Yeah, like I've seen animal abuse. I know how it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is or not.
I honestly don't think that there's any wrongdoing in there. I honestly think the trainer did their job right, but that's just based on the video evidence I've seen. If there's more video out there, and I'm willing to bet the cameras had to been rolling for that movie, because if that dog jumps in, that recording has to be going before the dog jumps in. It has to be. There has to be some raw footage out there that shows the dog, going in voluntarily or something, or getting pushed in or whatever. There has to be raw footage.
I also want to see a side-by-side footage of the footage that they have and the footage that
was released on TMZ.
Yeah, because if it's the same in the movie, then it's completely fabricated.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fabricated if that's the case. Now, of course, they're going to doctor it up to make it look more suspenseful, but that's about it.
Yeah, and you expect that in the final production, but I would like to see the raw footage that was recorded by the cameras, that was recorded by the movie cameras,
right?
It's side by side with the actual video that was released, and obviously try to match it up to the point where you can tell when that cut happens, and you see the rest of what happens. Do they stop? Do they let's just stop. Let's wait a couple hours, and they have. I'm pretty sure those clip things that you always see, take one, click. Those have timers on them.
Yep.
You'll be able to tell by those timers how long between shots.
Yep.
Because they have the cameras rolling and recording before they do the whole click thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to kind of move it along for time.
Yeah.
The fake protest site.
Okay, so this one actually kind of got brought up. I was just looking through trying to find stories today before I left for work, and this one kind of popped up in my feed. It's a couple days old. There was a website that popped up called Demand Protest, and it was basically a site that was supposedly used to hire protesters for certain causes. Had all these wonderful benefits, $50 an hour with a $2,500 retainer, blah blah blah, insurance, you name it. It was supposed to make it look like that protesters were being paid to protest.
Yeah.
And there were articles popping up about it whenever it first broke, and people were skeptical. The only website, and if you guys saw the part where we talked about the news outlets and, on that graph, which there's probably very few of you, but for those of you who actually did see it, the only news site that actually took it as fact was Breitbart. And they used that as evidence to say, hey, here's the liberals hiring people to protest at Trump rallies and make it worse, blah, blah, blah. Whereas everyone else was skeptical. Even InfoWars and Alex Jones were skeptical about it.
I'm so glad I linked you that. I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Because it's already paying dividends.
It's paying dividends for sure. But here's the thing. Fox News brought the guy supposedly behind the website in. And I guess they had done their research beforehand, because they immediately said, the guy went by a certain name. I forget what the name was, but the name did not exist, and it never came up in the police report or police background check. There was, the number went to a voicemail thing or something. It wasn't connected. The website was I believe based in San Francisco, but there was no LLC that went by that name that was registered in California, because on the website it had a Demand Protest LLC on the website, which is kind of a thing you have to have, and there's no registered LLC in the state of California for it. And there was
Dom Talipspo. That's the name that he gave.
Yeah, and during this whole interview, the guy
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. Tucker Carlson, he's asking the questions, and the guy would just go around the questions as much as he could.
Yeah, and it would be obvious.
Yeah. And here's the part of the thing. There was an article and that was done by the Washington Post. And the article kind of goes into a bit more detail of how this whole thing came about. And as soon as I saw this, I immediately went, yep. So here's the part I'm going to read to you. Here's an incomplete look at how we got here. A few days ago, Gateway Pundit, did peace tile, blah, 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 and cited 4chan in mentioning possible link between the man protests and George Soros. Never.
Wow.
Never. Okay, hold on. Journalist, look at me. Look at me. Both eyes. Look up here. Not in my man boobs. Look up here. If your best source is 4chan, you do not deserve to be a journalist. 4chan is the epicenter of all internet hoaxes and memes and bullshittery. And by saying that, I am probably putting myself up to get doxxed. Because that's where it happens on 4chan as well. People get doxxed. YouTubers get doxxed. Streamers get doxxed on there as well. But 4chan is not a reliable source for this type of stuff. They are known to do hoaxes. They are the ones that were behind, there was like some weird method of how to repair an iPhone that required you putting it in the microwave. Or saying that, that there was an iPhone that was completely waterproof, like the iPhone 3 or 4, when it wasn't waterproof.
Yeah.
It's like, you know this. They've done this before. Yeah. Are you really going to rely on them for this kind of story? Stop it. No more using 4chan as your source. Stop it.
Hold on, I gotta type a message and then I'll chime in on that.
Your friend's trying to figure out where the heck you are?
Yeah, a little bit, but they're still waiting on somebody else, so we're all right.
But yeah, don't 4chan, Reddit, any sort of forum, unless they have their supporting documentation on there, don't use that as a source. Maybe use that as a starting point for you to do your own research, but don't go based on a 4chan post alone. Good God.
It even says up at the top, anybody that, well, at least it used to, anybody that takes this stuff seriously is a fool or some stupid crap like that. You'd have to be pretty messed up in the head to believe this.
Yeah, I don't even know. As soon as I saw that 4chan was involved, I immediately knew it was a hoax.
Yeah, I mean, they only are there to mess things up, and there's no need to even say anything about it. I mean, true, there are some people that use 4chan for bad purposes, like for instance, everybody's favorite Mountain Dew flavor. Hitler did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. They do stuff like that, but as far as I'm concerned, you're right. If you're using 4chan for a primary source, you're grasping at straws. Now I'll say this: if somebody says I'm going to do this and then does it and like something really bad, then yeah, that's fine. That's a primary source. But don't go and say, well, there's a possible link on 4chan.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that reaction. I'm going to make a GIF of that because I had you on full screen. I'm going to make a GIF of that 5 seconds where you said nothing but just did animated bullshit. And I'm making that into the GIF. We're going to put that on Twitter and we're going to let it go. But, by the way, you remember how I was kind of got all over that one digital media company that we talked about last week? About having what looked like a Squarespace-like website?
Yeah.
this one looks like a Squarespace website too. There's a screenshot of the website for the man protest, and I'll put it on screen. That looks like a freaking Squarespace style website. That's a pretty cookie cutter.
It's really basic and
yeah. It's I don't know.
What the hell?
Yeah,
and not to mention it's got anonymous stuff in the background. That's the 4chan's kind of almost the home for anonymous.
Pretty much.
Or at least it used to be before then everybody decided, let's just post selfies and post them on there because that makes sense. Oh, we're supposed to be anonymous, but now we're just going to show everybody our mugs.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. There goes your anonymity.
We are Legion.
Not if you post a selfie and it can be backtraced and one of this other stupid crap that I can think of.
Yeah, but that was kind of a story that I kind of read into, and AJ at the beginning of it, because there's a video attached to this article, and AJ at the beginning of it, and you still believe that something like this could happen.
Oh, absolutely. I do believe that there are paid protesters out there. I almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
But it's the level and the extent that matters. I think it's all under the table.
Yeah, and I don't think it's as much. And quite honestly, there's probably very little. I don't think you're getting paid $50 an hour.
Oh no.
If there are paid protesters, you're not getting paid $50 an hour.
Oh no. Not to mention there's no real income, so it's just basically, hey, me and a friend are going out. Hey, you want to join? We'll pay for lunch and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of find it hard to believe that there's paid protesters. I mean, obviously there wasn't there like some videos from like someone in the Hillary campaign that said, yeah, we paid for that. I mean, that's really the only thing going on that might make me go, okay, maybe there was a little bit of it, but I don't think to that extent. I don't think there's an LLC in this world that does that.
That's why I say that it's all under the table. Wow. It's all under the table, or there's a front. You know, somebody's got a facade that's, you know, running a normal campaign or a normal whatever, and then they're just kind of they kind of open their back pockets a little bit to let people take from it as they will. Like I said, I don't believe that there's a major paid protester group out there, but I don't doubt that there isn't. I think I said that right.
Yeah. I don't know. But to me, with this type of story, it gets so far-fetched that even if there is actually a paid protester group, it makes it really difficult for me or probably anyone else to believe it, because there's already one fake story about it. What's to say there's not another?
Well, yeah, but that kind of allows for the facade to occur. You get a fake news story out there
and then it actually happens for real, and people won't believe it.
Nobody believes it. It's crying wolf.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
And I hate that I'm going to bring this analogy. I really do. But it's like the people. I can't wait to hear it. It's like the people who falsely report rape or any sort of hate or any sort of hate crime. You're
crying wolf.
You're crying wolf. You're making, and once it gets exposed as fake, like the Rolling Stone article, like the Duke Lacrosse, like all these fake incidences of rape or fake hate crimes or whatever. Think of any false report hurts the people that actually get harmed. The people who are actually raped. The people who are actually assaulted. The people who are actually suffering from whatever you falsely reported.
Yep. I have nothing else to add because I completely agree. Crying wolf does nothing but harm people. And once again, I'm going to tie it back to this. We need quick access to media or stories, because if you're the first to report it, then you get all the views.
Yeah.
And more views mean more ad revenue. And more ad revenue means more money, which means you can do more shit.
Yeah. And I don't know, there needs to be a point where some journalists out there needs to go, wait a minute, we're reporting this stuff. It's not substantiated at all. We need to stop, and we really need to look into this before we do anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in today's internet age, doesn't happen.
Yeah, not to mention you can't redact a news story like you used to be able to in like
it gets archived. It gets archived. It gets screenshotted. It gets whatever.
Yep. As soon as it's on the internet, it does not leave.
Right.
Which at some points I think, well, I screwed up a couple times, but at the same time,
this whole podcast is basically one big screw up by us. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of moments that we have that we probably will look back in a few months going, why the hell did we do that?
Or why the hell did I say that? I'm already thinking of some shit that I've already said today that I think,
It's out of the bag now.
Yep, it's on the internet. Fuck it. And I already dropped shit. I keep dropping shit. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If there is actually a fake protester thing, it's not going to be taken seriously anymore. But I think we kind of beat that one to death. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the KOSDFF situation. We've been on this one for what's it been now? 2 weeks.
Probably.
You guys, this has been an ongoing thing, and there's a couple more updates that have happened with the KOSDFF story. Just to tie back, KOSDFF, real popular YouTuber, almost at 1 million subscribers on his main gaming channel. He has a vlogging channel that's almost at 250,000.
And he's also a professional gamer, so there's that too.
Well, he's not really a professional gamer. He's a gaming entertainer. He owns a professional esports team.
Yeah, that's what I should have said.
He's the owner of a professional esports team.
I didn't check my facts. I'm just as bad as the media that I just bashed. Shit.
He is his team's very well known for the Call of Duty team because that's where they started, but they've expanded into a couple of other esports. They've had CSGO. They've had Gears of War. And I'm sure they're looking to continue to expand, just like any business would.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
But
I forget, are they in Overwatch? I imagine they...
I don't know.
At least...
I'd have to look, but anyway, just to get back, the last time we talked about KOSDFF, he was...
basically being threatened to be removed from his home because of shenanigans involving his neighbors.
Yeah, he was having problems with his neighbors. Apparently, the neighbors didn't like the fact that they parked the car on the street. They didn't like the fact that you had this young guy who seemed to have a snarky attitude or whatever, even though really wasn't really anything to it. So he gets in trouble with the county. The county kind of backs off. KOSDFF has to go and get a business license to do YouTube. He gets his business license. He's actually put a photo of the license on his Twitter.
With some of the stuff obviously blacked out for reasons.
For reasons. He got, and then now they are currently working on being allowed to have multiple people living in that house because since they're not actually related, there's some sort of zoning rule that it can only be a single family home, and you got like 6 or 8 gamers living in a house who are not family at all. But a couple of updates have happened since we last talked about it. First off, apparently his story has caught fire because he got put on the local news, and the local news team didn't do a very good job. Quite honestly, the drama, like channels like Drama Alert and Scarce, who just do YouTube drama, have done a better job than the local CBS affiliate.
Oh wow!
Yeah, of course Drama Alert, and Scarce, being YouTubers themselves, probably have a better understanding of what's going on, just because they're in the spotlight.
By the way, an update. Shut up! I don't want to hear your face. 217 people were arrested, by the way, on the
And the Trump protests.
Inauguration Day. Yeah.
Oh, great. That number's only going to go up. I'm just saying.
Of course. But anyway, continue.
So
breaking news. I'm sorry.
So anyway, KOSDFF, they put his story on the news. Apparently, he's been getting emails from all these like national interest law firms, saying that saying that he actually has a good case to sue Cobb County, Georgia, if they cannot get this second part going.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to find the actual tweet here. Where is it? God damn it. I'm trying. Okay, so.
By the way, I want to introduce the last topic, by the way.
Yeah, you're going to have to because I haven't read the article. Oh, wait, it's the one I linked. Yeah, you're going to do a better job with that. So, he put out tweets saying, so I might sue Cobb County, and says, basically my email is filled with national public interest law firms, and all of them say I have a good case and should sue. This was on the 18th, so that was only 2 days ago. And at that point, he had already gotten his license, his business license and whatnot. At this point, it is just a zoning thing, with the house. And I bet, and I'm going to bet, like maybe I don't know if the ACLU, because he never specified which national interest groups are emailing him, contacting them to give him service and to work for free for his case, and help set precedents. There's no, so I can't tell if it's like the ACLU or anything like that, that is saying that. But one piece of evidence that he hasn't tweeted out, however, it is in his most recent vlog, or at least the vlog that he uploaded on Thursday, the 19th. He received, and this was just in there very briefly, he received a cease and desist letter from the HOA. He never went into details about what it was, but I'm assuming it might have something to do with him still doing YouTube. Even though he's got the license and everything.
Wow, they really don't want him there.
Yeah, there is no... He never went into detail about what the cease and desist was, but now he's got the HOA lawyers on him.
Oh boy, this is a battle.
It's going to be a battle. He's also tried to convince the homeowners to break the lease because of all the shit that's been going down. People are going to know his address because he has to go to a hearing that's going to be a public forum, and more likely they're going to share the address out of the house. And if you're a house full of popular YouTubers, like the 8 of them are, no. You don't want that. You don't want people showing up on your front door. If the HOA had a problem with them now, they're going to have a big problem with them afterwards. Because that address is going to be spammed all over the place. And people will continuously come over and try to talk with them. And try to visit and, do all the things.
News agencies will come, everything.
Well, not just news agencies. Fans is the big thing that I'm talking about. Because it happens to YouTubers who get doxxed, and their dox is out in the open. Like, Optic Gaming, who's probably the most popular Call of Duty esports team out there. They have trouble with this with their house in Chicago. And, they have major issues with it. I can only imagine what type of troubles TK could have. And the thing was, the cease and desist letter was actually addressed to the TKG Field house. Because that's what they call their house, even though there's no contract that they have saying that they have to call it that. It's just something they did because the owner of G Fuel has been really supportive of them, getting the house and all sorts of stuff, and they've used their services, their legal team and whatever. So really, I don't know. That shit show has just gotten worse and worse for them. And at this point, if I was the homeowner, I would just go, look, you're going through shit. Just go. Unfortunately, the homeowners, they're supposed to be on like a 2-year vacation. They're like really rich, really successful people. So, yeah, it's kind of to a point now where, I would be trying to break the lease as much as possible. It's too much of a burden for these guys, I think.
Yeah. Even before getting the license, it's already a burden.
I still can't believe that he had to get a license to do YouTube. That just seems so mundane to me.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're making enough, then I guess maybe, but that's only with the pristine people like the PewDiePies, the Markipliers, and all that other stuff. For them, I kind of want them to, because I think they would get a little bit better for tax reasons. I think it would be better for them. Because
here's the thing, though, unless like the bigger YouTubers tend to have LLCs associated with their online stuff, so that in of itself is one thing. But
small time YouTubers or mid time,
the smaller time YouTubers, I've never known them to have to get a business license.
Yeah, it would be nice to have one, but unless you have like a ton of different other channels, and there's no point. If you're doing it just for fun, then it's not a job.
If someone tries to come after me right now because I run a YouTube channel from my apartment, I don't make any money off this. I have ads play, sure. Does my channel earn revenue? Sure. But I have not made a single penny. I have not received a single dime yet.
It's kind of like squeezing blood out of a rock. You're just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
or is it water from a rock? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's probably water from a rock. But here's the thing: like,
blood from a turnip. That's what I was thinking. I mixed it too.
Yeah, but
oops.
But anyway,
but that's not wrong. You can't get blood from a rock.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the thing. Like my channel has to make $50 before I get paid. I have not made that much yet on YouTube. If someone tried to come in here and say I was running the business from my home, I would go, "Are you fucking insane?
Out of your mind? How much money to make a whole zero? Show them your books. Show them your books. Just make a book. Type in zeros."
I just show them I would just show them my PayPal.
Yeah.
The only sort of deposit I ever received in PayPal was like a $4 or $5 like donation from Twitch, and even then, that was gone almost instantly.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like, nope. Like, KOSDFF might make enough to be considered a business, but
it's kind of grasping at straws at the moment.
Yeah, you're grasping at straws. Really, who the fuck makes someone get a business license for doing YouTube? I'm just saying, that's just dumb.
Yeah,
that's DUM dumb.
The UN dumb.
DUM.
Oh, DUM. I thought you said UN, and I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. The UN is kind of dumb.
Well,
but that's my opinion.
But all right.
But you ready for the last thing? All right, here it is. I got to switch to it. Hang on, because I have to read it.
I do too.
All right. So it is the what the fuck news of the week.
Did you wait? Did you really just pull that out to do that?
Yeah, by the way, it's an airsoft gun. Don't worry about it. I just took the flash hider off, or the threads off. That was good. That was good. It sounded crisp because I heard it.
God damn. I heard it too. I was like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, I see on my screen you have a freaking gun in your hand that you just cocked and got ready to go. And I'm like, what the fuck? No wonder you wanted to take this one.
Yep.
Okay. So,
I had that idea to spawn, and it's going to be great. The what the fuck click news of the week. where it makes you just want to shoot somebody. That's what
here's the thing.
That's the tagline. Just what the fuck? News of the week.
And here's the thing. Okay, first off, we need to say we don't know if this story is real or not. It comes from the Minimus Twitter. So take it as you will.
I don't think it is. I think it's fake.
I personally think it's a fake article. I personally do.
Because there's a couple of spelling errors, and usually when you post something, it's.
Here's the thing. I found reputable articles with several spelling errors. So.
Okay, yeah, but normally you kind of.
Normally, you would think that you would proofread your work before posting. Yeah. But
especially with an article this small.
Well, I don't know if it's small. It seems like a lot of it got cut out, but
probably
because we're just looking at a screenshot here. But I don't know. AJ, I'm going to start popping this on the screen here in a few seconds. Right. So just go ahead and start talking about it.
All right. So here we have a hero, I guess, if you will. Her name is Jennifer Bale.
Read the headline.
Quick-thinking mom saves family's life by giving a gunman a blowjob.
And I was going to say, it's kind of appropriate that you pulled out
the gun. It's more than I can get it.
Well, it was kind of appropriate that you pulled out the gun and did the click-click on this story because gunman.
I didn't even intend for that connection to exist, but there it is.
Yeah. So, anyway...
quote, he was armed and dangerous, but so was my mouth.
And by my mouth, it's the woman
Jennifer,
talking.
not me, not...
Yeah.
No. Texas woman is a hero to her family of four after giving a robber head long enough to distract him so that her husband could hit him in the back of the head with a chair while the children escaped. By God, he just got cut in half. By God.
Okay, I love the next couple of quotes here, and I'm going to read them. Okay, so this one's Jennifer, the supposed woman hero of the story here. To say I do anything for my children would be an understatement at this point. Plus, he wasn't a Minuteman, so it was a lot of work.
So wait, okay, now hold on a minute. Does this imply that he actually finished and then he just came in with a steel chair and just smacked him across the face with it?
No. So, here's what the whole article is entailing for me. First off, she decided she was doing the action to this gentleman, to this gunman. The fact that she said that he wasn't a Minuteman tells me that this was going on for a little while.
Longer than I probably would have been comfortable seeing or dealing with.
Now, the husband, Raymond, at some point comes in and whacks the guy in the back of the head with a chair. Now, first question. Would the combined action of oral stimulation plus the whack to the back of the head be enough for this guy to finish?
From what it sounds like, it seems like he either finished or was close to finishing anyway, because she had to put a whole lot of work into it.
I don't know. Just the thing though, you don't know if the guy finished or not.
But it seems like it. It seems like it, and we're going to debate whether or not somebody ejaculated. This is the type of high quality content you're getting, ladies and gentlemen. We're debating whether or not somebody ejaculated during a robbery in progress.
Here's the thing.
What?
Like,
I'm enjoying it.
Okay. I don't think he finished because why? Because I could just imagine, she's doing the action. He gets whacked in the back of the head. What do you think her reaction was whenever she heard the whack? Because I would not be surprised if there was a big, sort of either jerking motion or almost biting motion. You jump. You have to jump whenever you hear a noise out of nowhere. There had to be some reaction she did. I don't know. That could have possibly done more harm to this gunman.
Yeah, but
I'm being sympathetic to the gunman, but he's the one that got head.
Yeah, lucky. Anyway,
Yeah.
The picture that they show doesn't seem like she's too bad, but she looks kind of crazy. So I distance.
Yeah.
But
here's the
well,
here's the last quote from this. I gotta share this last quote
yeah,
because
I
it's
was
just
getting to that.
yeah, this is just too perfect. So Raven is Jennifer's husband, and he only had one thing to say about the ordeal. Quote, "She's never given me head like that, but we will talk about that later. For now, I'm just glad our children are safe." How the fuck do you talk about this later?
Basically, there's going to be a divorce in progress.
I don't think you're being oh man.
Like, to me, that would be
Divorce?
like, really? It takes a gunman to do something like that?
It's like, okay, it's like,
What?
You couldn't do that for me, but you'll do that for some random stranger who's got a gun in your face? What the fuck, bitch?
I will say, if there's danger involved, our sense of, well, our...
Fight or flight comes into play.
So
But,
she might have...
I don't remember that being fight or fellatio. I'm just saying. I don't remember it being that. Fight or fellatio. That'll be on a t-shirt next week, folks.
Put that as a hashtag and sell it. Please. Just put that on. Just tweet that right now.
Okay, how many fight or fellatio shirts do you think we could sell?
Probably a lot, because that would be great.
I need to open a Spreadshirt shop and we could do that. I wonder if Spreadshirt would allow that to happen. Would allow that to be put on there.
I'm pretty sure we can get a lot of good quality shirt sayings. Like, you can't squeeze blood out of a rock.
God.
Yeah. I just realized how bad that was. Now, can't get blood from a turnip and can't squeeze water from a rock. I mixed the...
Well, AJ, by comparison, the fact that we have already brought fellatio into this, it somehow got the word fellatio into the podcast. There's no way we're gonna get any better than that.
Oh yeah, no.
Fight or fellatio instead of fight or flight. I love it. Yeah, we're gonna put that on a shirt. But good God, we had to talk about this. I mean,
that's good. Yes.
If this story is true, what does this woman get as a reward?
Probably a stern talking to from her husband. Because honestly, I probably would say, you know what? I get it. It's fight or fellatio, but come on. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? What do I have to do?
Oh, no.
No.
Okay. All right. Here's the second question. If this story is true and this is actually a real thing, when's the next gunman come along? Just to see if it happens again.
Well, I imagine that because it's Texas, I imagine they automatically get a free gun, and by the justice system, and they're told to, or by the police department, and they're pretty much just going to say, "Don't let it happen again." So, yeah, probably they're probably going to be a lot less of that.
Okay, and 3, and this one's going to be the weird one. What's it got to be like to be the kids? If they are in like junior high school, imagine.
Mommy, what's fellatio?
Or like, hey Johnny, I hear your mom gets some good head.
I
heard she gives it out to anybody with a gun. Oh my God, I feel so bad for the kids. I would feel so bad for the kids if this article is any way true.
Oh goodness. Oh, I just realized something. I sent my friend my quote of "You can't squeeze blood from a rock," and he's like, you know what? I'm going to send that to the IRS. That exact quote, because he's kind of the IRS is saying, hey, you've got some taxes you got to pay for not being covered by the Obamacare. So he's following that, but. But wow, that wow. I feel bad for those kids, but at the same time, got away without getting a bullet, so that's good.
I'm kind of hoping that the kids are like at their oldest like 3.
3 or 4 or 5 even. Young enough
I hope they did not see mommy doing things to nasty gunman.
Yeah. I don't know. Now, okay. Now the timing is kind of bad. Because it implies that she actually got into the act. I'm a quick thinker, and that if I ever had a wife that suggested that, I would probably say, okay, I'm going to go get a weapon now that you've distracted him, and I'm going to beat him over the head before you even get close to his junk. Like, okay, you kind of get put on a good show, maybe touch it, flick it around a bit, but that's about it. That's about as extensive as that is.
Yeah, but the fact that this had to be quite a while just because he wasn't a Minuteman.
So the husband probably finished, grabbed a chair that he was sitting in, and smashed him over the face with it.
No.
Probably what happened. He probably went, that's actually kind of hot. He's got that a fetish of some sort.
I would not think it's that. I want to imagine that this is like the family's tied down like in like a circle back to back to each other, like in like 4 chairs or
Don't
whatever.
say back to back in this article because that could be construed as something completely different. R rating, here we come.
But I just imagine the family is tied up in some configuration, and that somehow this woman convinces the guy to like either let her go to do this action or whatever, or maybe the gunman was just forcing her to do it. And while she's going at it, the husband is trying to untie himself so that way he can get up, get a weapon, and just smack this guy on the back of the head. That's the only way I can imagine this happening without it getting really fucking weird.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
There had to be some sort of restriction that prevented the husband from getting to this situation sooner. I'm just saying.
Probably, but still, wow. Not to mention, okay, I can probably understand why the gunman said, okay. But how did that even get brought up? Like, I get it. You're probably saying, what you probably said was true, but if you untie one and they're all tied together...
Well, maybe not necessarily tied together, but they're tied up in chairs or something. Something where they, like, can't, like, move freely and they can't, like, get... You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. What is...
But as far as, like, how that initiates, like, hey, lady,
sounds
you got
like a porno.
mouth.
I'll take shit that never happened for 500.
Okay, can you imagine with browsers or some porno production company taking this? And,
they're already probably doing it.
I'm betting that there's already something like this going on. Like, there's already probably a video out there. People, go and search on the internet if you're of 18 years of age or older.
Smart. She really used her head.
But
is that all it takes to get some decent head? She had the better weapon, that's all I can say.
Oh, but this must be a CNN story. Fake news.
This was a setup by her husband and a friend, probably.
Man. Some of those responses are just funny.
Yeah. Plus, he wasn't a Minuteman, so it was a lot of work. And then crying face, oh my god, this can't be real. Crying laugh.
Imagine getting blown in front of the husband and 2 kids. He had stage fright.
No, even better. There's a guy that's in Italian. He put his thing in Italian. Translated from Italian, the power of the cigar. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's fake, but hey.
Yeah, it has to be. It's fake, but it's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh man, people focusing on the he wasn't a minivan. The quotes. I mean, good God. And there's just a tiny bit of your mind that goes, "This is stupid." But of all the stupid shit we've had over the past year or so, I can't imagine it being that far-fetched.
Yeah, it's probably not far-fetched at all.
It's not a far-fetched idea. It's whether or not it's actually a thing.
And I don't think it's actually a thing.
I don't think so either.
It's probably it's really interesting though, to be quite honest with you. Hang on a second. Gotta do a weird reach around thing. Yeah,
Dude. There's already been discussion of, hey, we don't need to talk about reach arounds, all right?
We had a back-to-back. We had, oh goodness.
Oh my God.
Jesus, I can't believe it.
So, we were going to try to make this a 2-hour show.
And it's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours and 40 minutes as my phone goes off.
Wow.
That's my dad texting me asking how the interview went. So, yeah, I think we should probably just wrap it up here. Giggity. Oh,
well, that man should wrap it up for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think she asked him to wrap it up before she went down? Okay. All right, that's enough. We're gonna go ahead and go. You're late to your little. Oh man, you're late to your little shindig.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's only 9:30, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is Tusk Talk episode number 3.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, that ending was like really, really weird. That was truly a what the fuck story. If fake or not, it was enough to make you go, what the fuck. AJ's, you see his Twitter. I'll go ahead and put him on the full screen right now. You see his Twitter there. Still no YouTube or Twitch channels yet. He doesn't have the internet to do it.
Yeah. Well, I do have the internet. It would just be really grainy, and then it would cut out, and it'd just be terrible. So no YouTubers. Well, YouTube is possible, but it's really
Streaming is not, for sure.
YouTube, I'd spend all day uploading a video, so yeah.
And as a legal reminder, AJ is not a doctor in real life. He just plays one on the internet.
I'm a gaming doctor. I'm like Dr. Nick on The Simpsons. I'm a terrible, but sort of doctor.
Wrong.
Wrong.
But yeah, go follow him on Twitter. Also, follow me on Twitter at LILWOOLEY618. You guys are on the YouTube channel. You know what to do. Follow me on Twitch. And as a final reminder, please go check out the Rize Up Gaming Seattle Children's Hospital Marathon. Go donate. Go show your support. Means a lot to us. Means a lot to everybody. So help us get to at least 5K on that. And I'm actually going to take a look, because I'm sure there's been donations since we did the thing. So right now, there's been about $50 in donations since we started the podcast. So there's now $3,660 donated.
Wow.
And we're not even in the big time streamers yet for the marathon. So
there you go.
Let's hope.
5K or bust.
Yep. Yeah. So I think that's going to do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed. Come back next week. Hopefully there's more things for us to talk about, and we're not so rushed to do this. But we are out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.